Hey guys, Brozen here. This video is going to be part two of what's kind of valuable in the ship world in Ultima Online Outlands. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at some ship crew. This is on live. I didn't want to spawn all these crew on test, so you're going to see some actual real examples of stuff that I have saved. And I'll try to go through why they're valuable and kind of what a value is. I'm going to throw some numbers out there. Please understand that this is my opinion. Also, it's very hard to price crew because one, you have to have a buyer, and two, there's really two kinds of people buying crew. There are the people like myself who've been playing for a very long time and want a very specific rolled stat. And then there's people who are getting into it or slightly upgrading their crew, and they're really just happy getting anything. So there's a decent market for entry level crew, and there's a decent market for end game crew. There's not a lot of market in between. So keep that in mind. One of the other things you'll hear me say is this is worth leveling. Keep in mind, Pirate Booty is selling for 2K per booty, and it costs 130, 140, something like that booty to fully level a crew. It's 10 per level times 9, and it increases by 1 for each level, so up to from 10 to 19. So it's, I think, 132 if I'm doing the math right. But that's almost 300,000 gold to level a crew. So you really got to be invested if you're going to level low tier crew. So that's why you'll hear me say this isn't worth leveling often. So first, let's look at our boats. We'll just look at crew that actually, let's start with what I would consider a low tier entry level crew. Everybody who boats has a box like this. I don't know why I like to sort them this way. There's no rhyme or reason to it, but that's what we're going to do. So let's look at this guy. 2% crew damage Orc Reaver. Generally, people want masters. Experts have some intrinsic value. That's why he's in the newbie-ish crew box. These are low value, 25, 50K. They're an entry level for somebody who wants to build a crew damage boat for PvP. These have no value whatsoever for PvM. Master Pavisman, this guy's in here to be salvage. I've actually got him in the wrong box. That's my junk salvage. Masters have an innate value in that you can use them to expedite any crew that you lose off of your boat. Most people like to keep a stack of masters laying about. That way they can just grab one when they see they need to expedite and then recall with it in hand. Same with this guy. I should have sorted my crew. Expert Spy with 4.5% wake and some lesser. This guy has some small value because of his wake roll. The 2% lesser has almost no value. This one would probably sell for 25K. And it would sit on a vendor for a while. They're only worth leveling as a stopgap if you have a wake problem. A lot of people will throw them on a new boat just to get some extra wake and never level them. This is a 222. It has some small value. These are actually sometimes worth leveling because they fill weird gaps. Also, it's an expert, which gives it a little more value because its stats are a little higher. I would sell this one for 25 to 50K. Expert Orc Reaver, we explained that earlier. Master Pilgrim with 4.5 wake. Same as the guy we looked at a second ago. It has an intrinsic value. Being a master comes with its own value. Master has more stats, dies less easily, has to be healed less. This one would sell for 25, 50K. If you're starting out, it's a good one. You might level it because you might get some long-term value out of it, but I wouldn't. Master Powder Monkey with 4% regular. This is where we get into some that actually have decent value. This one would sell for 100 to 200K. 4% regular. You really desire 6, but some people need a 4 to get started, and these are worth leveling. I've got a 4% base leveled on my boat right now. I'll show you in a minute. Roll is saving. All right, look at our next one. Veteran Hedge Mage. This one has no value. I don't know why I put it in the box, to be honest with you. 4% greater. This guy has value, 50 to 100K, in my opinion. That might actually be a little more. Oh, I'm sorry. This is an expert engineer. It has more value because it's an engineer. Might go up to 100. I don't know. Low tier crew prices are hard, but it's a 4% greater. It does have a value, and it's probably more 100 or more. And you could level this one and not feel bad about it. Veteran engineer with lesser. This is a starter PvP crew. I would not level it. It's to throw on the boat until you've got your 6% bases leveled, or at least expert master 4%. Veteran Powder Monkey. It's a vet. It's 4%. It has some intrinsic value. Low, 50, 100K maybe. Worth leveling if you've got no other crew. Just keep in mind that you're sinking 200, 300,000 gold into leveling it. So it has value. It's not a great value. 4% lesser, 1% wake scaler. This is that entry level PvP crew we were talking about earlier. 25, 50K. Not a lot of value in it. 1.5% expert navigator. This one didn't hit sales, sadly. 1.5% move speed has a value. I want to say in the low 100 range. They are worth leveling. Usually you prefer these to be masters and have percent sales on them, though. Repair cooldown carpenters. These have a weird value in that tank galleons want them, but they want them already leveled. So these are actually worth leveling just to sell on the open market. This is a troll that I keep because, well, it's an interesting troll. 4.5% wake scaler pilgrim. We talked about that earlier. 1.5 move speed. I give these away to new guild members until they can get better crew, and I just ask people to pass them on. Master engineer with 4% regular, 2% lesser. These are great for RCD, LCD boats. Maybe I'd say this one's worth leveling, and it has some intrinsic value. It's not as much as a powder monkey. If I were pricing this on a vendor, I'd put it somewhere in the 100 to 200K range. A 1.5 vet, same thing as we talked about earlier. You could pick up 1.5 vets all day from the open market. That's why, while they have a value, it's not great because they roll easily on navigators. 4.5% spy, same thing. I'd throw this on a new boat, but I wouldn't level it. This one's an interesting one because it gives wake scaler and greater. I'd put this on a new boat, but I wouldn't level it. As far as value, 25, 50K. Generally, I give these away to new players. Master Merchant with move speed. This should be in my gets wasted box. Now we're going to look at some more valuable crew. I know this is what you guys were wanting to see anyway. I sort mine by lesser, regular, greater, utility, and I don't remember what this is. Oh, this was speed. These are carpenters, and these are wake. So let's start with lessers. 4% lesser. So this is a leveled lesser. These are entry-level PvP crew. This guy is valuable because he's leveled. It costs 300,000 gold to level him, and so he's worth about 350,000 gold. This one is unleveled, much like this one. It would have a value if I took the time to level it because somebody would pay for the leveling. Generally, you're going to want 6% lessers, but then we're talking a lot more money. Master Engineer with 6% regular and cannon damage. This is a weird one for me. I find this valuable, but they don't sell well. 9% greater, a master, and it has cannon damage, and it's an engineer. This is where we get into our truly valuable crew. I believe I paid 1.5 million for Jordan, maybe 1.7. Yonina is an 8% base greater ability cooldown. Yonina is probably worth right now on the open market 12, 15 million. Yonina is an extremely valuable crew. You might wonder why. It's because rolling 8 pips into greater ability cooldown is extremely hard, extremely rare. And so getting an 8% base, which levels to 12%, is a very, very rare find and a very valuable find. Sashenka is probably worth, if this were full wake, it'd be more valuable, but it has the crew hit points. This is 3 pips into greater ability. Sashenka, being a master with wake, is probably worth 2 to 2.5 million gold. This guy is the exact same roles and the exact same value. Expert engineer with greater and regular and cannon damage is a pretty good roll. This is one of those 4-2s we were looking at in the other box. It's valuable in the sense that it's leveled, so this is probably worth 400,000 gold. When we're talking about these guys over here, you'll notice I didn't put a value because they're leveled. It's because their base value is so good. You don't really think about the value of adding the levels. There is an intrinsic value in them being leveled, but people would buy them unleveled. Wake crew, fully leveled, this is worth probably 700,000. It's a 4 pip wake. I'll show you another wake in a second. That's a full roll, but these have some intrinsic value, being 6%. They're not as valuable, maybe 200K each. Maybe worth leveling. As a pilgrim, I would. As a spy, I wouldn't, because pilgrims add something to your boat in healing your own crew. So I probably wouldn't value these spies enough to level them. If I were putting them on a newbie boat, I'd probably pay between 100 and 200,000 for these. Carpenters. These are unique cases. People buy max level carpenters because they don't want to level carpenters, and having a tank galleon is interesting for PvP. It's they're not heavily valuable, but they're worth more than the cost of leveling them. And I enjoy having carpenters on my boat, so I level them and sell them occasionally. And you can see here at 1.5 that I had started leveling and stopped. That's because I got some 2.0s that were better. But this one has value for the base and for the levels. I could probably sell this for 150, 200,000. We're going to put that up, and we're going to look at our actual ship. I want to make sure that was garbage. I'm very... I pick up crew often and check them. So we'll look at our ship. The crew on my fishing boat are garbage. This guy was leveled back when I didn't understand things. So that's why, and I don't ever fish anymore. No crew on this boat. This one I need to redo. No crew on this boat. Now we'll look at our PvP boat. 3% movement speed crews. These are valuable. About 900,000 to $1 million for a 2%. For a fully leveled one, you're going to pay about 1.2 million. For a master, you're going to pay a little bit more because of the value in being a master. I'm going to show you why. So this master has 1,043 hit points and 109 wrestling. This is an expert. It's 1,054 and 96. You can see the range here. That's why they're valued. This one actually rolled really crappy on leveling. But you can see they've got higher stats, and so they live longer in PvP. Each one of those was worth a little more than 1,000,000 gold. Look at the crew that I'm running right now. You're going to see a whole lot of 9% monkeys in here. So this is what I was talking about earlier, Master. This is a 4% base, but it has cannon damage, something that I overvalue. That's why it's on the boat, because I like hitting hard. Expert Engineer, this is a 6% base and a 2% base. This one is probably worth a couple million, especially being leveled. A 6% base here, worth 1,000,000, maybe a little bit less. 6% base, 6% base, same thing. And our Master Pilgrim that I really enjoy putting on these types of boats when I can have an empty crew slot, because it gets our wake down, but it also keeps me from having to use my grader to heal crew. So I believe I bought Noah here for 750,000, and plus leveling him puts him in the, I'd say 700 to 1,000,000 range. So those were some of our crew. Other crew that have value that I don't currently have are LCD bases that are better than 6%, have an extreme value. There's also a market for just rare and weird crew. Actually, let me jump over to my other house and we will look at some rare and weird crew. People in here because of lockdowns. So these are just junk masters. Again, I keep a pile of junk masters so I can expedite. A masterwork reaver that happen to have pretty good damage rolls. Same thing, expert. A vet hedge mage with 3% wake and 2% greater. This is a pure throw it on a new player boat crew. Master medic. This is Brozan's Folly. I keep him to remind me. Medics are not good and should not be leveled, but I didn't know that when I started. Master Pavisman, exact same thing. I did not know that. He's got pretty good dubs on him, so he's not complete and utter trash if you want to run a dub boat. Master Cook at 10%. I like to keep perfectly rolled crew. Has no value whatsoever. So you're going to see a lot of those. A veteran powder monkey with cannon damage that I was playing with. No value. 10% Master Cook. These 2.5% dub merchants are interesting. Dubs are easier to get on ship upgrades, but if you ever wanted to run the most godly dub boat, those are what you want. I see them listed for 200, 250K. I've never seen one sold though. More dubs. More dubs. Master Raider, he should be in the junk pile. .8 Fisherman has some value. I don't know what said value is. Another Master Cook that's perfectly rolled. 1.5 move speed Pilgrim that really should have been in my other box. We'll take it home with us. Another Master Cook. We've got a lot of those. An absolute troll Master Powder Monkey. A perfectly rolled boarding chance. Expert Orc Reaver that I was leveling at some point. I don't remember when, to be honest with you. So these are interesting crew, but they have no real value. It's why they're over here in this other house that I don't really use. So guys, thank you for watching the video. Crew are weird. If you find a Master Navigator, you can get real excited about it. But overall, I thank everybody for watching. If you have crew pricing questions, go out to Ships PVM and ask. There's usually somebody there who will help you. I strongly, strongly suggest before you buy crew, before you sell crew, you go get a true value, because those weird statted crew might be worth millions of gold, and you'll never know until you ask. So, thanks again for watching, and I hope everybody enjoys the video. If you got questions, ask them down below in the comments or hit us up in Discord. Thanks, guys.